This episode had me crying, but not because of sadness.
Hello and welcome back to Triple Gaming with me, Fletcher.
And the final episode of Prehistoric Planet. If you haven't already seen my discussions and thoughts videos about the other 4 episodes of Prehistoric Planet, I suggest you go back and watch those now. Also, if you haven't already done so, please consider liking and subscribing for more content from all of us at Triclaw Gaming. So, on to our final episode of Prehistoric Planet, the Forests episode. This was definitely a return to form for the series, I think. It felt a lot more like the first episode. There were so many creatures on display here, it's going to take a long time to go through them, so let's be a little bit quick. We start with seeing some Ostropposeidon giant sauropods just eating throughout the forest. The first sort of main animal we get is Triceratops, and I have to say that they look absolutely glorious with this deep green coloration to their body and these bright vivid frills. These are what I would want Triceratops to look like. They are definitely no three-horned ugly faces here. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And they head into this cave system in order to find a clay lick to deal with the toxins that various plants that they eat produce, which is a modern behaviour that some herbivores use today, so it's a bit speculative, but it makes sense. After that, we have by far what may have to go in as the best scene out of all of the episodes. We get to see these wonderful Carnotaurus, a male in this, I have to say, very Jurassic World-like black and red skin, and this female with this very nice subtle blue skin. And basically, in this particular scene, we see the male try to attract the female to mate with him, doing this very Bird of Paradise-esque dance. And it's the funniest shit I have ever seen. I could not stop laughing for about 10 minutes. It's so funny. He just wriggles his arms around. It's like a T-Rex trying to itch himself. It's kind of adorable, but so funny. And in the end, he gets rejected as well. I felt so bad for him. After this, we move to Asia, where we see these Corythoraptors and Kinjalosaurus in the forest, the Kinjal hunting them. These Corythoraptors are basically very similar to oviraptors. They were supposedly, back in the day, they were supposed to be the same, egg feeds of one or another. They have these really beautiful blue feathers, though. They kind of remind me of cassowaries in a way. And the Kinjalosaurus hunts them. Again, the Kinjal has these lovely stripes, and we get to see, again, actual hunting. It stalks them, it fails the first time. Second time, we get a close-up kill. So it's nice that we get, in this episode, another carnivore on herbivore hunting and death. Then we switch to this forest fire, and we get to see a number of different dinosaurs quite quickly. The forest fire is not seen here as sort of a bad thing. It's demonstrative, or this episode is demonstrating how it's an opportunity for dinosaurs. We get to see Edmontosaurus briefly, who are leaving the area. We get to see a Trociraptor, which is one of the reasons why I think a lot of people are liking this episode. There are quite a few dinosaurs here that are due to be seen in Jurassic World Dominion. The Atrociraptor is the first one, and I have to say it looks beautiful with its feathers. I was more happy about seeing this Ankylosaurid. Now, it doesn't get mentioned what name is, but I'm assuming if it's in the same area as Edmontosaurus, then it's probably Ankylosaurus. And it looks great with this emerald green body. There's so much, something I'll have to say about all of the episodes, there's so much colour to the dinosaurs. They're not bland browns and greys. And this is something I've said a lot about Frontier's choice of skins for its dinosaurs in Jurassic World Evolution. I want colour to my dinosaurs. You don't have to make them fluorescent pink. We don't want, a pink Darth Vader, to quote EA. But we do want a little bit of colour in our dinosaurs, and this series just seems to, every dinosaur looks brilliant. We then get this quite long scene of a young Therizinosaurus attempting to get at this bee's nest for honey, and it's played up very cutely. They kind of struggle to get up this log and fall over a few times and stuff. And then this adult Therizinosaurus comes along, just smashes the bee's nest up, and that's that. Again, another of the future dinosaurs we're due to see in Dominion. It's a shame we don't get to see more of the adult Therizinosaurus, especially seeing it in the daytime. It was still nice to see it on screen. And then the final scene, we have this wonderful Hepsagopteryx, this huge pterosaur. I thought it was Quetzalcoatlus at first, but no, it's Hepsagopteryx, this massive predatory pterosaur. And we get to see Zalmoxes, and Zalmoxes is one of my favorite new dinosaurs. I had not heard of Zalmoxes until the mod for it, for Jurassic World Evolution 1 came out. It's just basically an iguanodon, but really, really tiny. And I also think it has a wonderful story. It comes from Transylvania. It's been renamed any number of times. It's also one of the few dinosaurs I know that starts with the letter Z. And it just looks so adorable in this. And the model as well, the CG, especially when it turns its head and looks at the camera. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then basically the episode ends here, basically on this beach with the Hepsagopteryx flying off into the sunset. And I was surprised. I was like, oh, okay. And I was surprised because usually David Attenborough, at the end of his documentaries, he will take the opportunity to kind of give a closing speech. He does it with all of his documentaries. He usually has a sort of message or a profound point to make. And I was expecting that, and it doesn't. It just ends. It's quite strange. I'm not sure if I like the fact that it just ends because maybe it indicates there's more coming, or whether it just ends because that's all she wrote and there wasn't. It's kind of like we all know what happens next, don't we? So why bother? I don't know. I certainly don't think we need to see the asteroid killing them all off again. I don't think the inevitable end of the dinosaurs is something that we necessarily needed to see on screen. But I think some sort of closing message from Attenborough, just a bookend, because every episode starts with that introduction from him, and it just would have been nice for him to say something at the very end to sort of bookend the series. It certainly didn't end the way I expected it to. I also have to say, out of all of the episodes so far, this one feels the most grounded in terms of behaviour. None of the behaviours, I would say, are excessively speculative. The Carnotaurus doing its arm wavy thing is probably the most speculative it gets, and I think it's good to speculate what they may have been used for. I also have to say that I think the music in this episode was really great. The music for the Therizinosaurus trying to get up the tree to get the honeybees, the music for the Carnotaurus dance especially, they're two highlight tracks for me. So again, the music was a lot more on point in this episode than the others. Now, that's all 5 episodes done and dusted. What I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to take some time to review the series as a whole. Now all of the episodes are out, I'm going to look at all of the episodes that we got and try to make my judgment on whether my claim that this is walking with dinosaurs for the modern generation actually stands true. That's what I said about the first episode. I want to go away and think, is that really true? I'm also tomorrow going to do some little cute awards for the episodes. So I've already got a few award categories that I'm going to be investigating. We're going to look at what is the best scene out of all of the episodes, the cutest creature, the best music score, the most horrific scene, the best dinosaur design, and the best kill. But if you have any ideas for additional categories that we can use to come up with some awards for this show, do put them down in the comments down below. Also, let me know what you thought of this final episode and whether you think, if you've seen all of them, what your opinion is on whether this is a walking with dinosaurs for the modern generation. Don't forget, if you have not already done so, please consider giving us a like and subscribing. It means the world to us. I'd like to say to all of you, please stay safe and goodbye.